one of the things he said to me on our coaching call was, I found that now I have coaches coming to me for advice. And what I found is that my learning has been accelerated by trying to teach these people what I've learned. That's way number one, that you can really get and it's not all about quantifying the payoff of being nice to your colleagues. You should be nice to them just to be a good human. Maybe not a Tanvir level, but if you wanted to for the people that need to quantify it, for those of you out there that need to know what's in it for me to not be a dick.
This is the Online Trainer Show, Trainer Show, Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.
Turns out, for anybody paying attention, it turns out in order to adjust the volume on your computer, there's like a little megaphone in the top right. You've got to click on that and drag it and drag it a little bit to the left.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. We'll figure this out.
You did a thing today.
I'll figure this out.
What's that song that Zach Galifianakis was singing? Did you guys see The Hangover? Did you ever see that?
Yes.
He just goes off his weird, and we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anybody could have. And he's just so random. He went to two guys in that movie went to school in my state. Kim Young.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Kim Young's dad taught at my college at A&T State University in Greensboro, North Carolina. His dad was a teacher there. He's from the city I used to live in. Kim Young is.
I feel like he's the type of guy where his entire family are the least funny people ever.
Right.
And he just like broke out of that mold in every single way.
Pretty much, because his dad used to like to make these sort of lame jokes.
College. No, community. In community.
Community,
he was in community, right? He was one of the teachers in community. Oh, he's amazing in it. I'll allow it. I love him in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's this sort of an homage to his dad, who was a professor at my small college, my HBCU. For the listeners that don't know, that's historically black college and university, North Carolina A&T. And then Zach Galifianakis went to NC State, which is why he references the wolf pack. I'm a wolf pack of one in the movie The Hangover, because the mascot of NC State is the wolf pack. So you got two hangover guys that are from the great state of North Carolina.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people wanted to hear.
About North Carolina.
It tells you that my personality type is right on par with the rest of the state. That's what it should tell you. Just random. So I don't know if we started the show yet, but I'm going to assume we have. And I want to get something on my chest because it's bothering me. This is something that's currently chapping my hide. I know the people out there are very interested in my procurement of a PlayStation 5 this holiday season. I know you all riveted. I hear the thoughts and prayers coming in.
Wait, we got to do this like a radio show. We got to press the button. We got to press the Len's got to get something off of his chest button. Okay, one second.
So,
Auga!
I love it. Right. I love it.
Len's got to get something off his chest.
So that's what the segment was. That's what the segment was missing, Jonathan. Thank you so much. So long story short, I still don't have one. So I see the GoFundMe. I see the PlayStation 5 matters out there on the internet. I appreciate the solidarity out there,
and
but
that's the end, everybody, to the UN's got to get something off of this chest segment of the show.
Steve, that's all of it. That's all of it. So Keto, it's been a while. You've been here sporadically. You're here sometimes. Sometimes
I thought you said they improved the internet in Bailey. Why is your camera so bad?
Yeah, your camera's just not good.
Oh, we haven't done it yet. We haven't scheduled. We have it scheduled for the new company to come and set it up, but it hasn't happened yet. So yes, my internet will get better.
Get the mayor to pull some strings,
right,
and get this internet thing fixed up. Because at this rate, your internet's finally going to get fixed at the same time that I go to Mexico.
Right, and then his will be bad.
Exactly.
My Mexican internet is not going to be good.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Well, it's like what's the Sesame Street thing? one of these kids is doing their own thing. 3 of these kids are doing the same. That's what we're going to be like. 3 of the internet's going to be working. It's going to constantly be, and it's the Canadians. Have you noticed that, Amber? Like, we're getting the troubles coming from their side of the border for once, which I feel comforted by. I need you guys to get it together, man. Get you some strong American internet carried by an eagle, shot out of a bazooka, that lands on a tank. That's what you need. Your internet's not violent enough. That's what damn it. American internet is strong. It's strong and secure.
Strong, patriotic, and we don't listen to anybody.
That's right. And we only surf for the worst information on it because this is America, damn it. And that's God bless America and no place else. Literally no place. Yeah, that's protecting my freedoms. So Keto, you don't have the internet updated. So your share of the segment has already started off horribly. You've already dug a hole for yourself from the in the field correspondency that we like. Any good news going on in Barrie, Ontario? The mayor has no pull. We found that out. The man's got no power. He's a lame duck mayor at this point. He can't even get the internet fixed. Anything good happening
He's
now?
a lame duck Jedi mayor who's been in power for like 20 years.
20 years.
And still can't figure out how to get internet.
Can't get internet at the house. Write a letter to City Hall after this.
Get him back on the podcast. We want to talk to him. Get him back on the podcast.
Yeah, can we add him to the podcast? Like, is that because I need to hear directly from him at this point? Your unofficial press secretary duties have been revoked here. Okay.
One bit of great news for me on my personal front is that I decided and found and hired somebody once, every couple of weeks to help us clean the house because I decided I don't want to spend my life cleaning a house. And since I work from home, most of it would fall on me just because it makes sense that you're here and you just do it because you're here. And I don't want.
Right. I love it. I think that's a great decision. This Keto froze because of the lack of mayor pull that the Jedi. Yeah, you're back. We expect it.
There I am.
We know the mayor has no pull. Yeah.
Right.
So it's a celebration.
Anyway.
It's like you're dancing in a strobe light because your internet keeps cutting off.
Right. So I think this is a beautiful decision. This is a great decision, though, Carol. I like
awesome
this because you're right. Right. We as most home, the assumption is that when you work from home that you're not actually at work. So that time could be sort of taken for granted. Like if you're here all the time, it's so convenient for it, but they don't realize like you're working from home. Like personally, I've been busting my ass more since being at home solo. Just I've been doing more work than I ever did when I was leaving the house repeatedly, sort of training people in person. And I think you get caught up in the work a lot. And I too have hired someone to come in every couple of weeks because it's a time for money, right? I like it. I'd rather exchange that money for the time that I could use to do other more important things and probably make 3 times as much the money that I'm spending to get that time back. Is that sort of where your head was at?
Absolutely. And it's been working out really great. I feel way better about the decision. That's how you know it's the right decision because it just feels good. So that's kind of like on our compass, right?
Right. That's the exact same way that I pick out cake at the grocery store. It just feels good. If it feels right, I know I got the right size of cake. So we've got a topic today, and I don't want to scare you guys by talking about the topic too early in the course of a podcast because I know we're not 45 minutes in yet. However, I think it's appropriate. It's okay. It's the holidays. We can deviate. We can bring up an actual topic here before we've blown 45 minutes of your time with reckless banter.
And this was your topic, man.
Well, I don't want to say that because I don't know how the show's going to go. Like at the end,
you chose it. Live or die by your decision.
Don't do that, Jonathan. That's not in front of company.
No, this is my life every single day as the owner of the company. Like this is actually something. It was interesting. So we all know and love Alex Coutmel, who's the head coach of the Online Trainer Academy. Basically, like my right hand for that. He runs
great guy.
He runs the coaching team as well. And I remember we were hiring 4 new coaches at once because we were growing. So we're hiring 4 new coaches for the Online Trainer Academy at once. And this was the first time that he was like onboarding them by himself. Mm-hmm. And he called me one night. We were just talking, because we talk on the phone sometimes, whatever, no big deal.
Stuff.
Usually about personal stuff, but whatever, it's fine.
Right. You guys are best buddies.
Like girl stuff. Right. We're talking, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, you get it. You get it. You got your bros. Anyway,
right.
So he calls me and he's like, dude, like, I don't know what to do in this situation. Like, what should I do? Like, I'm kind of freaking out. And I was like, I don't know what to do in that situation either.
Oh, there's
but the buck stops with you on this one. Now you know how I feel all day, every day. When you don't know what to do and everybody else is going to you and saying, we need to know what to do. And you know that ultimately it's up to you to figure out what to do.
Man, you just quoted a migraine commercial. When you don't know what to do and everything's up to you and it's up to you to decide what to do. Take extra strength migraine Minotaur. That's a great commercial. I didn't know you were spitting out hot fire, spitting bars here today, Jonathan Goodman. The man, somebody jot that. Can we got to record it. I'm gonna put that to music. That's in a few podcasts. There's gonna be a song with that lyric because that's really good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but that was just so. I'm done. Okay,
what's the topic?
You ended on a great note. The topic is sort of building relationships with your colleagues, the value of the relationship when it comes to your colleagues. And I don't know what the official title is because Amber and Jonathan were sort of going back and forth about a word that colleague, I think was the word. Amber, would you like to chime in? You've got a fitness device behind you. You seem smart.
Oh my. The importance of building positive relationships got secret.
Okay. The importance of building positive relationships with colleagues. And we've touched on this before. I think our commentary before one of the podcasts, maybe somewhere in the 20s or 30s. I think the sort of the peak of our discussion around this subject was, if I can remember the phrase correctly, "Don't be a dick." I think is what we decided on, collectively. It's pretty much where we ended up there. So, and that's always a profound statement. However, we're all colleagues here on the show, and our ability as individuals on the show to build relationships with colleagues is for the most part while we're on the show. There's actually only one talented, efficient person here, and that's Amber. But for the rest of us, we're running off the strength of our ability to build relationships. Jonathan's not that great at podcasting. He told me that. And then he told me, let's do a podcast. And based off the strength of our relationship, I was like, cool. And Keto's dynamic didn't know much about podcasting either, nor did I. But Jonathan was like, hey, I know you guys, you're all right. Let's do a podcast together. And we were like, hey, that makes sense. So this podcast that you're listening to, if you are listening to it, and if you're not, I guess you won't hear me ask, are you listening to it? So I should assume that everybody's listening to it that I just said. So this podcast that you're listening to is sort of a result of today's topic, right? Building relationships with colleagues. And we're all in the same groups that you are. Spoiler alert. Let's just start there. Because I say that, Jonathan and Keto and Amber, and I say that because is Jonathan about to get some sugar from his wife? I thought Dr. Allison was coming in. And it is Dr. Allison. Hey, Dr. Allison. Hey. There she is. We've had sightings.
She can't hear anything you're saying.
Good. That's probably a good. That's
probably a good thing.
It's
usually for the best.
It's usually for the best. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we're all in the same groups that you guys are out there. If you're listening to this, you're probably in Online Trainers Unite. You might be in OTA Students Grads. You might be in a level 2 group, which is phenomenal. You might be in PTDC, whatever that thing is. What's the PTDC one? It's It's not online trainers. It's
the Fit Pros Unite.
Fit Pros.
Those groups are not good.
You heard it here first. So
they're not good.
But the reason I mentioned that we're also in the groups, and all of the other coaches that are administrators and OTA Online Trainer Academy mentors are in that group is because, quite frankly, you guys talk like we're not seeing what you're saying to each other. I mean, I see things in there, and I'm like, don't they know Grandma can hear them? Like you guys are just reckless.
Hey, you left a crack in the door open.
Right.
Can hear you.
We can hear you what you're saying back there.
Made some lemon muffins. Would you like some?
We can smell the weed, guys. Like you might think the door and the towel under the door is keeping the weed from reaching the old folks in the front room. We can smell it, okay? Like
blowing the smoke out through a laundry. What's that laundry paper called?
A dryer sheet.
Yeah, blowing the smoke through a dryer sheet does not cover up the smell, guys.
Not at all.
Curious about that connection there.
It's called college, is what it is, Amber.
We'll circle back around to that, Amber. But in any case, like, geez Louise, like, do you guys kiss your mother with that mouth? Like, you guys are rough on each other in the group. So we thought it would be advantageous to sort of speak to this specifically.
Give me an example of like what when you say like they're rough to each other in the group.
Okay,
like,
so
how'd this come up?
Ask any question, Jonathan, about fitness or OTA. Any question you want to ask. You're going to be the original poster.
I was wondering what you guys are doing with your clients who are having a little bit of knee pain. I had a client who just had knee pain last week, and I'm trying to learn to get better. And so I'm wondering what you're doing with clients with knee pain.
Answer number one. That's out of your scope. Why are you even considering working with a client that's got knee pain? Are you a doctor? I don't see doctor. I went to your site. It doesn't say doctor, so I don't even see why you're answering. Just step away. You don't deserve to have clients. Like,
answer number two in a Boston accent, please.
Answer number two. Boston accent. Okay. Boston is that's a wicked stupid ask it. First of all, you stupid asking, wicked retard. You know, why would you even freaking ask a question like that in this group? Huh? Nobody knows these answers. And if you don't know these answers, you don't even deserve to be a trainer right now. You're just wicked stupid. By the way, my car's parked on the yard at Harvard.
Okay. So answer number three, be the nice person, please slow jam it.
Hey, sweetie. I feel you out there. I know you're struggling. I know you need something. But I got what you need. I got an answer for you because that's a great question. So here's what I want you to know. You can learn anything you want, and I do mean anything, if you listen to the other coaches in this group. We want to help you, baby. We want to please you. We're not here to tease you. We want to make it all right and make it all night. So,
and then person number four is like, why don't you just Google it?
Right.
Google it.
Google it, bro. Google it. So here's all jokes aside. Amber's crying.
Amber got flushed when you were slow jamming that. She had to fan herself.
Amber digs the slow jam. But all jokes aside, we're never really all jokes aside.
Somebody actually told us that this podcast is a dumpster fire in all the good ways. She told me that today.
That is the most adequate description of what we do here twice a week that I've ever heard. It literally is a dumpster fire in all the good ways.
Yes.
Because you can't look away from it.
No.
So in all seriousness, when you have to understand that the relationship with colleagues it's a circle, right? It's not a stairway, it's not a line, it's not a hierarchy. Everybody knows something that somebody doesn't know, but I can give you three ways that building great relationships with colleagues has paid off for me. Is that okay? Is that something I'm allowed to do here?
Yes, but again, you're going to have to do them in different accents.
I don't know if I can do 3 different accents in 3 ways that it's helped me.
Okay. Number 1, Geppetto from Pinocchio, please.
I don't do it. I don't know Geppetto's
What was the
accent.
Pinocchio voice?
That was a Mickey Mouse. You don't know Pinocchio?
Okay, Mickey Mouse. Do a Mickey Mouse voice then.
I don't think that we'll get value out of this podcast. If I mail blank my way through it. doing all the voices from not only Disney but Looney Tunes as well. We'll come back. We'll close with something special. I'll let you randomly throw me out something as we close the podcast. So here's way number 1. that helping out colleagues has been beneficial for me. And way number 1 for me was learning. Like, colleagues ask a question, and if you're in a learning process, and I had this conversation with an OTA student last week. As a matter of fact, it was Tanvir Hassan Brito, who is probably, at one point I thought I was a pretty nice human, and then the universe introduced me to him. And now I feel like I'm the 6th seed of evil.
Hate people like that.
He's just the nicest person I've ever met.
I legitimately hate people like that because I look at them and I'm like, all of my efforts to be a nice person are for naught.
They pale
because there is literally nothing I can do to be as nice and as kind as you. It's like
you've wasted it. You realize once you meet Tanvir Brito that you've wasted your time trying to be a good human in any capacity.
Completely wasted your time. You're like, damn it, I had a negative thought. Like I had a negative thought. Like I'm done. I'm done. I give up.
You should go turn over some liquor stores immediately because there's no sense in goodness. Yeah, there's no sense in goodness after you meet somebody like him. But one of the things he said to me on our coaching call was, I found that now I have coaches coming to me for advice. And what I found is that my learning has been accelerated by trying to teach these people what I've learned. That's way number 1, that you can really get and it's not all about quantifying the payoff of being nice to your colleagues. You should be nice to them just to be a good human. Maybe not a Tanvir level, but if you wanted to for the people that need to quantify it, for those of you out there that need to know what's in it for me to not be a dick. One of the things is you're going to learn a lot more and a lot better as you're helping the people around you. What? Can I say dick? Richard. Don't be a Richard. As you help the other colleagues around you, you get to learn more about what you're doing. Yep. It's extremely helpful.
Can I expand on that a little bit?
I need you to expand on that because I'm going off the rails.
I want you to be a teacher.
Yes.
I think everybody should be a teacher. I think the best thing that you can do for yourself and for others is to be a teacher. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to be a teacher in schools, but that means that at some point throughout the week, every single week, you should attempt to teach somebody something.
Yes.
And the reason for that is quite simple. The way that you understand something is very biased, is very lopsided, is very one-sided. Mm-hmm. In attempting to articulate what you know and construct that in a way that somebody else can understand that thing forces you to see that thing from a different angle, from a much more objective, uneducated angle, which immediately gives you newer insight into that. This is why anybody who says that writing is easy, by definition, sucks at writing. Because writing is hard. Teaching is hard. It's hard because we're doing something that's unnatural to us. Right. Writing that's natural to you basically means you're writing in a way that you understand and nobody else really does. 100%. Unless you're like super, super skilled and you've been doing it for a lot of years. The same thing with teaching. In trying to communicate an idea in a way that somebody else who knows nothing about that thing, or you don't know what they know about that thing, can understand it and make use of it, it forces you to re-examine all of the parts of that thing and put it together in a new, much more clear way and present it.
100%.
It immediately makes you better understand what you think you already know.
And I've had several comments. As a matter of fact, Tanvir commented the other day about working with the OTA. And one of the things he said about me was that I have an ability to simplify complicated things and explain them in a way that's easy to understand. That's practice from being nice and helping my colleagues, trying to figure out, well, if I answer this question for Jim Gazelle, what's the best way for me to get it across to him? That's the shortest path to his understanding. And Keto, Keto does this as well a lot. And a lot of what I've gotten from Keto over the couple of years that I've known her and been following her content is her giving me an interpretation and understanding of what it's like to view something from a woman's perspective in regards to fitness and wellness and comfort there. And Keto, you do a lot of this. And as a dancer, Keto, I'm sure when you were partnered with a certain Jedi, there was a certain amount of education that you had to give to get it done.
Uh-huh.
You know, can you sort of and I'm guessing that you've done that before. Like as a person who dances, I'm sure you've had to instruct partners before. Like, do you find that I know it's a bit off topic, but it's all education. Do you find that it's similar in that regard, like breaking things down in a way? Talk to the people, Carol.
So, so breaking things down, like it comes from removing yourself and your assumptions and what you think everybody should know and meeting people where they are. So when we kind of like extrapolate that to colleague relationships, it's like essentially everything that has happened in my career, every single jump I have had in my career has come as a consequence of me having been a decent, helpful, funny, interactive human being with somebody else. Like that's essentially like through friendships, through, mentorship, this podcast, like all of it has come as a consequence of not being a dick.
Right.
And, people enjoy your, like when you have two people with equal amounts of knowledge, but one of them is a jerk and the other one is, friendly and enjoyable, who are you going to choose? So you can have all the knowledge in the world, but you're still going to be left out if you are missing that essential piece of your personality, your character, and just being a warm and a welcome human being to others.
Absolutely, but not quite on a Tanvir Brito level, because that's not achievable. Nobody else can do that. Yeah, don't even. You're gonna pull a hammy. Don't try. What we're saying. You're gonna pull a hamstring if you attempt it.
Hey, Jonathan Goodman here. This podcast is made possible thanks to people like you. Here's a quick word from our sponsors. Are you still trying to pick your online training software? If so, let me make this easy for you. Go with PT Distinction. It's truly the best, and I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsor. We actually use PT Distinction for our own online fitness business, online trainer coaching, and we're really happy with it. From onboarding to programming to client communication, PT Distinction has everything you need to run your online fitness business smoothly, and it's super simple to use. Now, normally they offer a free 30-day trial, but as a listener of the Online Trainer Show, you get a free 60-day trial, so you can make sure you love them before spending a dime. If you want to deliver first-class service to your clients while reclaiming your time, then visit onlinetrainer.com/PTD to sign up for your free 60-day trial today. If you're a fitness nutrition coach that's looking to master online coaching so that you can help more people, make more money, and have more freedom, then the Online Trainer Academy can help. OTA gives you the framework, knowledge, and support to have predictable success with your online coaching business. From marketing to business development to how to assess and motivate your clients online, it is constantly updated and refreshed to keep up with a dynamic market. Not only that, OTA is proven. In 7 years, we've helped over 30,000 coaches in 87 countries go online. Truth is, we know what works, so you can get right to the success part. And in case you're busy working a full-time job or you're a full-time parent, know that you can go at your own pace. There's no deadlines to complete OTA and you have lifetime access. That said, if you are ready to make a rapid change and finish the course in the next 8 to 12 weeks, you can expect to invest 3 to 5 hours each week on the program. And here's the best part. If you join today, you will make an extra $1,000 a month in 90 days, or I'll give you your money back. So if you're ready to build the fitness business you want and make the money you deserve, go to onlinetrainer.com/academy to enroll today. And I hope to see you in there.
So that brings me to, so I love what Keto said, because right in the meat of what she said something about, generally speaking, meeting the person where they are. And as coaches, we're all in different, two coaches with 10 years of experience can still have vastly different sets of experiences. And one may know something that the other one totally doesn't know. Like the education in our industry is not entirely linear. The amount of years don't add up.
The education is not entirely good.
Good. Particularly through OTA. We make up for it in grit.
Unfortunately, the bar has not been set very high by many of the educational institutions in our industry.
So they pretty much suck. But what I'm getting at is
you said it.
You can't say that because you've done this for 10 years, you have this vast amount of knowledge. It could be a totally different path of knowledge than the next person. What I'm getting at is there's no reason to judge somebody's question because you could very easily find yourself in that same position. Number two thing that's a great payoff when you're nice to colleagues, just nice to people in general.
You came prepared for this episode, Ren.
It's almost like I'm ready, and I'm not.
Did you make notes?
No, I make it. I literally just responded to a fictitious post in our group in a Boston accent. I think that's a lot harder than running down these 3 bullet points. My God, the improv level today is off the chain. Whose line is it anyway? See what I did there? That was clever. I told a joke. So number two, the number 2 payoff for being nice to your colleagues, will put you in circles that your level of intellect and experience cannot allow you to achieve. I was out of OTA level 1 3 months when I was able to go to Strong Pro Summit and meet Jonathan. In the course of like 15 minutes, I met him, I met Alex, met Molly from Girls Gone Strong, and became close with these people, relatively close, almost immediately, just by being a reasonable individual. The one of the sole reasons that I was able to interact with Jonathan was because when he asked me if I wanted to come to the Strong Pro Summit and record a testimonial, I said something funny. He said, "Hey, I wanted you to come. Would you be willing to come to Strong Pro Summit and do a testimonial?" I was like, "Only if I get to wear makeup." And he LOL. So I set the precedent.
And then I hired a makeup artist.
Right. And
for that video shoot,
I literally got to wear makeup.
To wear makeup.
Dream of my life, Jonathan.
Is that the first and last time that you've put on makeup?
Yes. That one moment was my only sort of RuPaul experience as an OTA
didn't you
graduate.
Feel like really good about yourself?
I felt so pretty. I just felt so pretty.
You're like, I am not going to be shiny for this video.
Yeah, and I wasn't. There was no sheen there. It was a very matte look. I had actually had a photo shoot after that. I didn't tell you guys about that. We'll talk about that later. However, that night we went to the Hockey Hall of Fame Museum, and I'm standing there beside this super tall guy. Everybody's super tall to me. I'm 5'7"
Must be nice.
And I'm just a giant, Jonathan. By the way, if you guys saw that Power Ranger photo, that is an accurate height representation of the group of us. Amber's legitimately taller than everyone else here.
How tall are you, Amber?
What?
5'7".
You're what?
She's
5'7".
Yeah,
so tall.
Yes, just
am I the shortest one here? How tall are you, Caroline?
I'm 5'4".
Yeah, I think I got you by like half an inch.
All right, way to go. So, in any case, I digress as we compare our heights here. I'm
like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Right.
Every single shot is from the bottom up.
To give you height.
I have never been on an award show where they have filmed my feet because I'm always wearing heels or standing on boxes.
Jonathan Goodman he's the prince of online training, and I mean actual prince, Purple Rain. So what was I saying? Oh, so I'm standing beside this tall guy, the Hockey Hall of Fame, and the guy's like, he looks down at me. Obviously, I guess I looked Americanish. I don't know. He was like, "Man, this would be so much cooler if it was the NFL Hall of Fame." I was like, "Bro, you're American." He's like, "Yeah." Talked to this guy for 30 minutes.
Was that
at the Hockey Hall of Fame, just chit-chatting. The next day, I see Molly again. I've been talking to Casey Sasek all night. Didn't know that was Molly's boyfriend. Could have been a dick to him. Yeah. Could have been. And then he comes through. He's like, Ren. And Molly's like, how do you know Ren? And he's like, dude, everybody knows Ren. You know, it will place you in circles.
Aww.
You know, I met Carol because of knowing Molly. Molly makes sure that if anybody comes into my area, Charlotte, North Carolina, they look me up. And it's not because I have extensive experience in training at the time, that I know more than everybody or anything like that.
What?
Being nice to my colleagues has placed me in a circle of people who are the actual sort of creators of a lot of what we do in this industry. And it's not because of talent, skill level, or anything like that.
And it wasn't, I think what's interesting is that it wasn't like being nice to them. Right? It was being nice to people with no regard of who they are, and some of those people happen to have connections with them. A lot of people are like, oh, how do I get to know so-and-so? How do I get favors from so-and-so? How does so-and-so promote me? It's like, well, so-and-so is already, you know, I guess a big deal in whatever they're doing. If at least to you, if they're a big deal to you, they're probably a big deal to a lot of other people, which probably means they have a lot of demands on their time and energy and promotion and whatever. And if you got to know them on the way up, you know, maybe it'd be different, but like they're already up, right? Like there's already an asymmetry between how established they are and how established you are, which doesn't necessarily 100% mean that they're never going to like go out of the way to promote you and support you, but like they're probably busy. They probably have a lot to do. And there's a lot of competing demands on their time. And so how do you do that? Like you do that by being a general good person, because there are a lot of people that know them, that are friends with them. And the reality of it is, if somebody reaches out to me cold at this point, I'm literally never going to pay attention.
Right.
And it's not because I'm like a jerk. It's just
busy.
I got a busy company. I've got a fair amount of demands on my time, and it's very important to me to have breakfast and dinner with my family every single day and not work on the weekends. I mean, I leave my office at 5 p.m. I leave my computer here, and I don't bring my computer home on the weekends. Like, so it's just like there's just no time, right? But if somebody, I mean, Amber or Ren or Carolina to some extent, you know, were to say to me,
a little Carolina, but not too much Carolina.
To some extent,
you got to go easy on it. Yeah, you can't.
Depend on my mood for the day.
You're right. We get
but
that.
If they were to say to me, they're like, yo, I got somebody like, if they were to say to me like, yo, I got somebody who I really think you should meet, it could be the exact same person with the exact same appeal.
Right.
And I would 100% take that call.
Absolutely. Which is why I'm going to circle back around to like one of our first points. You guys know we can see you in the groups, right? like
oh, 100%. I keep notes.
You know that we can see you bashing people in the group. We may not always say something because we've got stuff to do, and generally speaking, I think I can speak for the panel here that we don't really get sucked into a lot of negativity. Like it's not our jam to be like, oh no, you didn't, sister girl, don't talk to Debbie that way. Like it's sort of not what we do. Unless it's egregious, and then we have to step in.
Debbie gets out of line.
You know, so
Debbie gets out of line. You know Debbie.
So consider that, because what the internet is doing for you on a worldwide basis is what that conversation with Casey Sasek at the Hockey Hall of Fame did for me, in terms of allowing me entrance into a circle of people who were quite literally above my station as a coach at that point. You know, I think I may have had 2 or 3 clients, you know, when I came to Strong Pro Summit, and not that much experience. So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3,
and to extend on that, the final thing that I'll say that before you get to reason number 3 is
do it.
People see and people take notes. I 100% take notes. If you are rude or intolerant,
me too. I have people that I would never work with. Yeah.
Yep. Even if I don't say anything, I see that, and it is completely irrelevant to me. Whatever you're doing in the future, I don't want anything to do with you, because people don't change.
They don't.
People might pretend that they change, but history repeats itself. If somebody if somebody is rude or intolerant or impatient or whatever, right, disrespectful in some way, like it's just like I said. I mean, I got a lot to do, and I need some guidelines for who I surround myself with and the types of people I do business with and the types of people I'm friends with, and like that's a pretty easy. So I mean, people see, people notice, right? Even if they're not messaging. What's it?
What'd you say, Amber?
That's how you hired me.
How did I had nothing to do with that.
That's true.
What did I do? How did that start actually?
Yeah, so a few months after graduating, you sent me a message on Facebook, and I didn't really know who you were at that point. And you're like, "Hey, do you want to help with the coach's email? I'll pay you." I was like, "I'm not sure you're really going to pay me, but we'll try and see what happens anyway." And you did, so I'm still here. So
why did I message you? Just because you were like super nice to people in the group?
Sure either, but that would be my hypothesis, is being helpful in the groups, because I don't have any idea why else you would have reached out. That would be the only place that would make sense.
There you go. You might get a job if you. Here's the lesson for you, everybody, today. If you're really nice and really helpful in the groups for many hours on your own time for no pay, you might get hired for small amounts of money to host a really of a podcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m.
We want you guys dreaming out there.
Dreams come true here at Personal Trainer Development Center.
Don't stop dreaming, guys. So number three. Can I do number three? Is that okay? Can I do number three? So number three is, and we see this complaint a lot in the groups. Debbie Downer voice. I'm posting all this stuff and only other coaches are liking it and following me. Guess what? They hire coaches. Before OTC, I think I've coached at full price no less than 15 other coaches. Ren, I was thinking about hiring a coach, and you were always so helpful in the group. And, you always say that funny thing. What's that funny thing you say? I don't know, dude. I was probably making something up at the time. Well, it was funny. So I'm gonna, I was thinking about getting a coach, and I'm gonna hire you. Like this is literally the conversations that I have in the DM. These people have no idea what my qualifications are. They don't know if I've got 1 certification or 6. If I've broken 3 arms and ruptured 4 ACLs last month, and they don't care. They just hire me. I've worked with so many coaches that now, as a coach in OTC, a lot of the coaches that I'm coaching through there, I have relationships with already. And they will say things to me like, upon entering this class, "Oh, I'm so glad I got you, man. I got the fun coach." Not that that's how,
They say that?
Yeah. It's not.
Did you tell that to the other coaches?
No. I just did tell the other coach.
Wow.
So and I'm sure
I'm gonna tell that to Buddy. I'm gonna tell that to my coach.
Yeah. And all of the coaches have their own thing, right?
That's fair. You can backtrack. That's fine.
But it is a factor of having some familiarity with me and knowing what my attitude and personality type is like, and being okay with what it is. Versus being a dick, in which case you would never make it to be an OTC coach anyway, because nobody from the organization would reach out to you. So you guys
we hire from within.
Right. Absolutely.
Like almost primarily we hire from within. And we hire through network. Like we're hiring some very senior positions right now. We don't need to do job postings because our network is so good.
Right.
I reach out to contacts of mine in the industry and get referrals. Like I literally don't do job postings.
Right.
From almost every position, which is why you don't see them. Now, if we really need to scale our hiring, maybe. But that's how we do it, and that's how most companies
how we roll,
do it.
Son.
And so if you're a dick,
right. Because
you ain't getting a job.
It's your job postings only go on the NDN, the non-dick network. For hiring.
Wow.
We
just said non-dick network on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, we said dick 3 times. Like what offended you, the non or the network? I don't understand.
To be fair, my name for this podcast is Penn Island.
So you'll be okay.
Put that together.
You'll be okay. So in any case, Jonathan.
Yes.
So. And I literally saw somebody say that they were deleting all the other coaches from their Facebook. You know, I've got all these coaches following me. I delete them.
Oh,
Why?
no.
Why would you do that?
Coaches are the best fitness consumers.
They're the best.
Like coaches spend more money on fitness and nutrition than anybody else.
The best. And you're building your
Why
network.
do you think I started an online fitness service specifically for other coaches? Because coaches spend the most money on coaching.
Right.
Like that's the easiest sell. How can you possibly argue the value proposition of buying coaching when you're a coach?
Right.
How can you possibly say to me,
it.
I don't have time and I can't afford it?
You can't argue it.
If you're a coach, like immediately now you're basically saying like people, and then you're like, oh, people, I can't believe people say that they can't afford my services. Health and nutrition is the most important. And like, you're not willing to do it.
Right.
How can you possibly do that? Right. Yeah, man, sell to coaches. It's great.
And so those are the three reasons, you know, put you in.
Okay, we got to go. So that's great. I'm glad we got through that.
Jonathan's like, I got a thing. Shut it down.
And
who's got the lights? Somebody hit the
show
lights.
Notes.
What did you say?
And sync the show notes, please.
In sync.
And sync the show notes.
All right. Let's see.
Or Backstreet Boys. They're both fine.
You think that you want the show notes? You can go to onlinetraining.com/show notes to get them all down. Podcast. Oh man, I was so close. Podcast to get them all down. Jonathan, Amber, Catalina, and me. We enjoyed bringing you this podcast, and that ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Jingle, jingle.
And then we all got to do the dance.
That's Backstreet Boys. This is the in sync one. Bye, bye.
Bye,
bye.
What is it?
It's bye, bye, Jonathan.
The fish.
Gosh, I'm shocked at your age range that you don't know this. I'm an elder statesman here. Anyway, we've solved all your problems in one podcast. Again, 50 minutes or less. Go do stuff and be awesome and be nice to people.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Don't say non, though, because Jonathan doesn't like the word non. That's vulgar to him.
Non? What's non?
I said non-dick network. You were all like up in the tea. Oh, I can't believe you said non-dick network. You said dick like 35 times in this podcast. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see a dick counter to go on.
I'd like to see a dick counter.
Can we add a dick counter in post-production?
Did you ever see that South Park episode? They were getting all of this crap because they were swearing and there was profanity. And so they put a swear counter at the top of the episode one time.
We need that for this episode. It would be the joy of my life to see a dick counter. I said it again. That's one more. Oh man. All right. I gotta go do stuff and I got a thing.
This is the online trainer show. This is the online trainer show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.